Here we are on the way to Aquin. A little bit wet today, but otherwise pretty comfortable considering we're now moving into winter. This morning when I was on my way out, I had to dodge some kangaroos along here, but this time of the day they tend to be all hiding and sleeping, so we probably won't see any. We'll see what happens as we come up. My property is on the left and it starts about here. Off to the left, just Australian bush. Coming around. Here we are. Can't see it very well. This is our front driveway, and if you look at that sign really closely when it's not wet, it says Aquin, which is the name of the property. Now this driveway is a bit of an adventure at the moment. Occasionally we run the tractor past with a grader blade on it to smooth it out a bit. Then when we get the rain coming, oh, there goes one. Another one. And I don't think we'll see them again. You get an idea of how much rain we've had lately and what the track is often like. Hopefully in another week or two there'll be some heavy machinery and trucks full of gravel coming along, and so for the purpose of making the place pretty to sell, this will look like, well, more of a civilised road than what it is at the moment. Maybe not quite a highway, but compared to what we've been used to. There's the house coming up. I'm going to drive around the back of the house. Oh, here we go. Bit of the wild and woolly part. Now we happen to have some shipping containers here as part of our packing up, so I'm going to avoid those. And this is where I park the car, which for boys who like four-wheel drives and getting bogged and all that sort of stuff, that's a marvellous way to get to your house, your front door. Here we go. I'm going to pause now and I'll come back. This is the inside of our shed. Normally it's a lot tidier than this, but since we're getting ready to leave, there's stuff all over the place. There's a bedroom down there and the makings of a kitchen and bathroom. We've never finished. Unlike most of Australia, it's pretty cool in this part of the world. And so the place is insulated inside, and over there somewhere I think you can just see the chimney of a wood fire. This would be a very comfortable place to live if it got fitted out inside. That's where we were and the car is. I'll just pan around. We've got the tractor and a couple of water tanks so we don't go thirsty. That's the back of the house. And that's the place where, in days gone by, there was homeschooling done. Hopefully a dog will come out as well. There you go, there's the shipping containers, and that's the end of the pan around. Up the back there is still my son's utility ute. It's called Bruce. They put the flames down the side of it as a Saturday afternoon activity a while back. There's another pan around, showing you really the side of the house that visitors don't normally see, and that's the front of the place looking out. What's here is pieces of a shed that we're going to put up, but it'll probably end up being moved down to my next place of residence. Often in this area down the front here is where often of a morning you'll see all sorts of wild Australian critters. and even some imported ones. We get deer coming in here, which are now becoming a fairly common pest in Australia, as well as the kangaroos, of course. What I want to do now is basically walk you through the property as a whole. We have this potentially lovely circular driveway here. We've got the rocks all set out, and there are pine chips in here, which made it really lovely when we arrived, but then the weeds came up, which was a bit of a pest, so again I have to redo that. And as we come up closer to the house, we'll get an idea of what we're in for here, even though it is a bit on the wet side this afternoon. As we come up, find the house emerging here for us, and we've got what is a very pleasant driveway or pathway, possibly even grand, I guess. But it's a bit like walking on the beach on the very dry sand. You tend to sink into it a bit. However, here we are. Here's the house, and the front door simply recessed here. And what we'll do, we'll go in now. That will be nice because we'll get out of the rain. See what's behind this door. Here we open into the foyer here. Now this room is only 2 metres wide. That gives us an idea of the sense of scale, even a couple of metres. If it was half that, of course, you would feel very narrow as a hallway. But 2 metres, absolutely plenty. As we move in through what we call the foyer, we're going to take a little bit of a diversion here. I'm going to go past a couple of bedrooms. There's the dining room coming up. I'm going to look at the master bedroom now. The master bedroom is from where we are at the door across to the window, 3.9 metres deep. Gives us a bit of an idea of scale. 3.9 metres, and in fact it is 3.6 metres wide. It's a queen size bed, which is a nice size bed. We had a king size bed there, but I think really the room is designed for a queen size bed with a window placement and so on, so it's about a comfortable size, so that's a nice size. When it comes to the depth of the room, from the foot of the bed, and that's about as long as beds come, we've got a comfortable space there with our 3.9 metres to the wall. Gives us an idea we could probably even have a desk and a chair between the bottom of the bed and the wall there without any trouble at all. Off in the distance is the walk-in wardrobe. I'll just put the light in here. Now again, this room as a walk-in wardrobe, it seems to have a modest amount. It's only 2 metres deep, 1.6 metres wide. Could be bigger, of course, always could be, but even that size actually works surprisingly well for the number of people that you would normally have occupying a master bedroom. If the walk-in wardrobe was a bit bigger, you could, maybe another half metre bigger even, you could probably put a cradle in there. Now, just going a little quiz at the lounge room as we go around. Here's the first of the children's bedrooms. These bedrooms are all roughly 3 metres by about a little bit more than 3 metres. So this is 3.2 metres from the doorway to the window. It's got a walk-in, a built-in wardrobe here. And in terms of width, it's a nice, neat 3 metres wide. And there you have a bed there, very simple bed, this particular one. You get an idea of how well the bed fits into the room. There's a comfortable space there, even though it's only 3 metres wide. Okay, that's the first of the children's bedrooms. Now, we'll come out here. I'm just going to stand here. This is the dining room, and as we go around, that's the study off through that opening. which makes the room actually feel bigger than it is. From here, it's about 8.6 metres to the wall behind the stove there. Gives you an idea of the size. And in terms of depth of the room, it's 6.6 metres from the wall to our right across to where we pan to the sliding glass doors. 6.6 metres wide. And that table can sit about, well, certainly a dozen people comfortably. I think normally it's set for 10. And then we've got the kitchen here. The kitchen itself, it has a walk-in pantry there, a smallish one, but it's actually quite effective. And from the edge of this countertop here to that far wall, that's about 2.9 metres, and a similar distance on the other side to include the fridge. And in terms of width, it's about 3.5 metres wide as a kitchen. A lot of people say that's a good sized kitchen, and I'm inclined to agree. I like the amount of bench space that's on there, but I think we'd actually do with some more cupboards. And you can say, well, there's plenty of cupboards in there, but you always do with some more. I think if I was going to do this again, I'd put cupboards on the other side here as well and make it a bit wider. That's just me. So here's the dining room, and as I say, the dining room is able to spread out into the, visually at least, spread out into the study. Here's another one of these rooms, 3.2 metres from the head of the bed down to the window, and about 3 metres wide. And we've got another one of these nice built-in wardrobes, which is a good size, this fella. That's another bedroom. Then we come here, we'll open up the door and we'll have a look at the main bathroom. Main bathroom is only 2.2 metres deep, and so from the door where we are to the window, 2.2 metres, that gives us enough space to have a nice 900 square, 900 by 950 shower recess, which is a good size, comfortable size. And we've got a good sized vanity there, about 1.25 metres, and what's a fairly typical sized bath these days. It's a good size, fairly deep, so on. We've got a linen press, just a single door opening there, so it's about a 720 door. We've got the loo here. Now this room is actually quite interesting. It's only about 850 wide, so it has a sense of being a bit narrow. The doors all through the house, the internal doors are all 720, so they're quite narrow doors, and this room is probably has that sense of narrowness. If it was another 100mm wider, it would probably feel a lot better, but you tend to be thinking about other things when you're in that room. Here's another bedroom. This room, again, the 3.2 by 3.2. This one actually has a little splay on the corner, so where I'm standing in the doorway is splayed. But you get an idea of how that works. With 3.2 metres, you've got a comfortable amount of space to the chest of drawers here. Again, if it was a desk or something, that would work as well. Let's come into the last of the... Oh, hang on, before we get to the last of the bedrooms, have a look at the laundry. Here's the laundry. It's 1.5 metres wide, which is actually quite narrow, and 3.2 metres. It's actually it's only a couple of metres deep. I'm not sure of the depth there, but it's actually quite a small room, and I think this one, unfortunately, is a little bit too small to work. As a laundry, if it was about another 100 metres, 100mm wider, it would probably work an awful lot better. So at 1.5, it's a bit on the small side. 1.6 would be reasonable. The washing machine you see there is only a small front loader. We had a full-size washing machine, the kind of washing machine you use when you've got a dozen kids, and it really stuck out so far into where you walk past that the doors could hardly open, and it just, it was looking kind of awkward there, so I put the little washing machine in.
So that's a bit of a lesson there. These narrow doors, personally, I don't like. You get used to them, but I think a 820 door works a lot better. The 720 doors seem to be through the house. Now, this is an interesting room. This one, likewise, 3 meters from where I'm standing to the far wall, and 3.4 meters. 3.4 meters? Yeah, 3.4 meters deep. So it's longer than the others at 3.4 meters. We've got the built-ins again, so we've got good built-ins. And let's just get over here and have a bit of a perspective. When we look at the room at 3.4 meters, you've got a comfortable space at the foot of a standard single bed to have what's a comfortable desk. And then beside it, we've also got a very nicely proportioned chest of drawers. Very comfortable. So that's, to me, a good-sized single bedroom. The others work, and they're only really a few tens of centimetres difference in size. Now we come to the study. The study here, it's very comfortable as a study. We used to have 3 desks. We used to have another desk past the one that's really in front of here, just in front of Our Lady of Guadalupe. From where I'm standing to the far wall is 5.2 meters, and that's a good-sized room. Got lots of windows. Got another desk here. I'm a bit of a desk crazy kind of person. The room is also 4 meters across. So from the back of that desk to the back of that one is 4 meters, which is quite comfortable. The boys and I had 3 desks in a room which was 3.6 meters square back in our old house, and that worked very well. And we even had a lot more bookshelves than we do here. Again, this room suffers from really only being half set up, and now we've got the boxes out again as we go. The kitchen is a bit deceptive. It's got a reasonable amount of bench top, certainly with the main one. I would tend to have a bit more bench top space, certainly a bit more sink space. Got a single bowl sink, which drives me a little bit batty, and you feel a little bit cramped when you're doing the washing up. That could probably be designed without making it too much bigger. We'll come in here into the lounge room. Now the lounge room, from where we're standing here to the back of Our Lady, is 5.5 meters. And if we just look at the furniture in here, and you can see that depth works quite well. We've got, what for most people would be considered a lot of lounges here. And it works pretty comfortably. This is a lovely room, and quite an enjoyable room to sit in. Lots of windows, and we brought in the lounges from when we had all the family at home. Yes, we do have a screen here. I'm reluctant to refer to it as a television. We use it for watching movies, mainly driven off the computers, sometimes off DVDs. So as a lounge room, it's nice. If you make it too much bigger, you tend not to be able to talk comfortably to the people on the other side of the room. So that's kind of something to think about. So it's, not quite square, but getting that way. And it seems to work quite well. Now we've got a curious room. We call this the sunroom because it faces west. From where I am at one door to the other door you can see there is, let me check, that's 3.9 meters, and we're 3.4 meters from the closed door there across to the window. 3.4 by 3.9. It technically is a bedroom, at least they call it that, because it's got built-in wardrobe, but considering you've got 3 doors in the room, I think you wouldn't want to be too concerned about your privacy if you actually had this as a functioning bedroom. While we're here, we'll have a look in this closed door. A bit of a mystery box, this one. And this is second bathroom. Now this bathroom is only 2 metres from where we're standing at the door to the far wall where the towels are, and it's 2.3 metres from the mirror here across to the window. But with that, it actually works quite well. The shower recess with a splayed corner, I'm not fond of those. They actually work really well in confined spaces, but it doesn't always work unless you make them a bit bigger. So this one is 900 deep by 1100 wide. It actually works pretty well. I've had the splayed showers where they about 900 square and they don't really work very comfortably at all. This one works fairly well. And again, as a bathroom, you can do all the things you need to do in a bathroom very comfortably. You don't feel cramped. So that's that one. Then we come to this last room in the house. We call this the games room. It's a name that we had in a similar room, rumpus room sometimes people call it. It was the school room and Byron's workshop back in the days when the Moores lived here. It's absolutely a beautiful room. It's lined with bookshelves all the way around. It was actually built to be a garage, at least that's the design of it. They put all these bookshelves in which work really well amongst the face brickwork, so it's got a magnificent feel to it as a room. Lots of space. Now, from where I'm standing at the doorway to the back is 11.1 metres. 11.1 metres. That gives you the feeling of a very big room. And it's 5.4 metres wide. Again, that gives us a bit of a sense of size. I really like the brick pillars with the bookshelves kind of built between. Works very well. We're about to change the carpets in here because they have been the worst for wear with being a schoolroom and a workshop. So, but apart from that, lovely room. You could probably put a billiard table in here. I don't know. I'm not fond of billiard tables myself, but a lot of people like them. Certainly it'd be proportionate to do that. And there we looking out on the shed where the car's parked. We've got Bruce there and this rather nice patio area. This patio area, I would love to have all of my family grow up around here. You can do all sorts of things in the patio area. It faces north, so you can enjoy a barbecue here because this room shelters it so you don't get the late afternoon sun. There's enough space so that kids can, play soccer here if they really want to. And when the Moores were here, they had a wonderful habit of hospitality, and so often there'd be mobs of, teenagers coming over, and they used to play all sorts of things here. So that's the house. Hopefully, these comments on the size and what have you will be helpful for looking at applications in other places.